right. How you doing? It might not be morning, by the way. It might be afternoon or even evening. You crazy things. Watching this whenever you want to. What's that about? Anyway, hello. And welcome to another home session about relationships. Relationships. So funny. Anyway, what we love has an impact on how we live. What we love is often what we build our lives upon. For swimmers, it's swimming. They put their whole life into swimming, and they go to the swimming pool really early on a morning, and they give up loads of time in order to practice swimming. They keep practicing. And it changes the whole way that they live. It changes the whole day is based around swimming. The whole life is. But as Christians, we need to be careful about what we build our life upon. Swimming is great, don't get me wrong, and if you are a passionate swimmer and want to become an Olympic swimmer, that's amazing. But also make sure that your whole life isn't built upon just swimming. It needs to be built upon something stronger. As a Christian, I believe that God is that thing that we should be building our life upon. He is the rock of our lives. He is strong and dependable and loving, even though rocks aren't necessarily loving, but it's an important characteristic of God, and I need to make sure I got that in somewhere. Other things aren't as strong or dependable as God. And I think we're discovering that now as things are being taken away from us, we're suddenly realizing that nothing is as strong or as dependable or is going to be there as much as God is. Chocolate is great, but chocolate melts or gets eaten. I love Batman, but I don't build my life around Batman. I don't wake up in the morning and go, what would Batman do? And go out into the streets and try and beat up some criminals. I don't do that because I would probably get beaten up. But also, Batman doesn't have my best interests at heart. People who write Batman and make Batman films, they're making them for money, not necessarily so that my life would be better. But God does have my best interests at heart, and I know that, and I've experienced that in my own life. So the question is, how do we love God with all our heart? Well, it comes back to this word, worship. And you may, if you're watching this live on the 26th of April, you may have already watched the church service, which is all about worship and how we can worship. If you've not watched that, watch it. It will give you some ideas, but here's a few more just for you. Singing songs is a great way of worshiping God. And you don't need to be an amazing singer in order to sing songs to God. In fact, it shows how much you love God if you are a bad singer and you sing anyway, because it shows God how much you love him, that you are willing to embarrass yourself or potentially burst someone else's eardrums by singing because you love God so much. And it's not about singing any old songs, it's about singing songs that worship God. It's not about singing, the Teenage Mutant Ninja theme. You probably don't know what that is. It could be about drawing pictures to show God how much you love him. Make him a card, write in the card how much you love him. Show it like you would with a friend or with a parent or with someone that you love. You show them love. Think about the ways that you show other people love. Show that love to God. In all, worship is not just about singing or creating. It's about living your life in a way that pleases him. It's about not doing selfish things. It's about loving other people and loving God and keeping God in focus. A bit like what we were talking about last week with keeping him in mind when you do stuff. Think to yourself, is this going to be pleasing to God? Is God going to like what I'm about to do? Or is it actually going to be damaging to myself, to others, and to my relationship with God? Give him thanks for the good things in your life. It's hard to see them sometimes, but there are good things in your life. Your house, food, simple things that we take for granted every single day, but God loves us so much and provides for us. Those are just some of the ways that you can show God how much you love him with all your heart. I hope you have a really good day, and I shall see you next week when we look at loving God with all our strength.